Hello, can you hear me? So y'all, I hope y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm getting out my doctor's appointment. All this walking has got my body sore. I thought I was about to die. No, it's just because I've been walking my butt off. They said I have brucitis or something in my knee, which is basically inflammation of fluid. That's why my knee has been hurting, because I've been getting all these walks in. Yes. So I'm about to go, I just got out the doctor's, and now I'm about to go to a coffee shop to meet with some potential housekeepers. So you guys, I have a housekeeper. You know, the best thing I actually did was to get a housekeeper. I've had a housekeeper for a couple of years now, but when I moved to California, I had to find a new housekeeper. So I got a housekeeper, and I love her so much. Like, we're friends. So, and she basically got sick. She got bit by a bug and got a humongous, terrible reaction to getting bit by a wasp. And she is now super sick. She's been sick for at least a good month now, just from a sting of a bug, basically. So I have to find a replacement. Not replacement, because hopefully she'll get better and come back, but some to substitute for her. So I'm on my way to go interview for some housekeepers. And where am I going? I hate living in a new place because I never know where I'm going. Okay, where am I at? See, I never know where I'm going. That is definitely not where I want to go. I need to make a U-turn, and I'm not going to do nothing illegal. So yeah, you guys, I got on here to tell you guys and talk a little bit about student debt this morning. How many of you guys are students? Raise your hand if you are a student, or if you have student debt. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you are a student. And what I mean by student, I don't mean a K through 12. I don't mean if you're in the 4th or 5th grade. I mean if you are an undergrad, college student, or a graduate student, and you have any type of student debt. Raise your hand. Yes. I live in I live in Southern California, out in right below LA in Orange County. Okay, raise your hand. Now, do you guys remember what you had to do to get a student loan? Do you guys remember that? Do you remember what did you have to do? Do you guys remember those papers you had to sign to get those student loans? Because I remember I was thinking about those papers. And when I had those papers, when I saw them, when I first got those, do they still do that? Do they still give you a paper, a pack of papers to look at to make sure that you know what you're doing when you get these student loans? And when I was looking at them, I what is it called? Procrastinated so long for looking at them and signing them. And you had to do something. And it was a little process. And I remember I procrastinated in doing it because I was I really don't want to know what I have to do to get these student loans. I was I just want them, and I didn't really want to face the facts of whatever needed to be done. Where am I right now? Where am I? Okay, I'm going to make a left here. I was told was something. Now I was told it's a loan, right? No paper, just signed electronically. Yeah, but there's something you have to read. Yes, promissory papers, right? Okay, it was electronic now. Well, back in 2003, I don't believe it was electronic. So anyway, right. And on those promissory notes, it told you if you get an unsubsidized loan versus a subsidized loan, one of them is going to occur interest while you're in school. The other one is deferred interest. So I knew that. And, that you had to pay them back over so many years. And, and one of the other things, but they told us that. So I'm yeah, I can get these loans. I can get whatever, $20,000 in loans. What's that? Because when I start making $50,000 a year, I'll just save half my money. I just spend $25,000 and the other $25,000, I'll just pay back my student loans just like that. That was my undergrad. We had packages, so I had grants and all that other stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to pay that back fast, that was before I went to college and got pregnant and had a baby and didn't figure in the price of a baby into that money that I was going to be paying back. But, they tell you that you're going to have to pay this back. They tell you that you can take, many, many years. But what they don't tell you, is that where I'm supposed to turn? Is that where I'm supposed to turn? Where am I supposed to turn? What does this mean? What is that? Is that where I'm supposed to turn? Is that where I'm supposed to turn? I don't know. What they don't tell you, I feel like I'm supposed to turn here, y'all. I feel like this is it. I feel like this has to be it, because that looks like it's going on the highway. Hold on. I feel like this has to be it. If this isn't it, I'm going to be mad. This is it. Okay, so what they don't tell you is that when you get the number one thing that I failed to realize when I took out student loan debt is I didn't understand that that was debt that counted against me being able to buy a house. They didn't say nothing about, if you get this debt, that's like increases how much debt you have and decreases how much debt or mortgage you can take out on a home. They never said that. Or I would have been like, huh? And I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea until I went to go get my first mortgage. And they were like, well, you already have a mortgage of $80,000, which is essentially your student loan. That student loan is basically like your first mortgage. It's your first mortgage. They're like, well, since you already have a mortgage of $80,000, yes, your income supports $250,000, let's say, to get a $250,000 mortgage. But since you already have $80,000 mortgage of your student loans, you only qualify for $170,000 of a mortgage to buy this house. I didn't know that. I was like, say what now? Say what now? Debt to income ratio, what? Right? I was like, what? I was like, why did they tell me that on the promissory notes? I said, why didn't they tell me that on those promissory notes? Why didn't they tell me that when you take out debt on a college loan, that is literally like your own mortgage? It's like a mortgage. So, like, when you think about it, you have to think, okay, well, how much, just like you think, how much of a mortgage can I afford? You have to think, well, how much of a student loan can I afford? If I want to go out there after I'm finished college and in 4 years I want a house that costs $300,000, right? I have to know if I get 20 and I can afford $300,000, that's what I can qualify for. I have to know that if I take out a $30,000 loan, I'm only going to qualify for $270,000 of a house. Raise your hand if y'all knew that. Actually, put a little face, a little dumb face if you didn't know that. Put a little dumb face if you didn't know when you got your student loan that loan amount would go against how much you can get a house for. Put a little dumb face. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, wow, if I want to get a bigger mortgage, I think I realized that at around 23 or something like that, 23, 24. And that, right, that goes for all debt. That's even for car, if you get a car. It's everything. But, the first one we get is the student loans. So, but once I realized that, I was like, okay, I need to pay down my student debt right now, or I will never qualify to basically for $300. So I had to pay down $30,000 of debt. So I aggressively paid down $30,000 of my student loan to be able to afford the mortgage that I needed to buy my first house. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? So it's basically like, it wasn't even the down payment. The thing is, I had the money for the down payment. You can save money for a down payment real quick. And also, when you buy a new home and things, they give you money back. I think $15,000 or $20,000 was all I needed to actually, like, for closing costs and everything like that. So I had that, but I didn't realize that I needed to pay down other debt that I had before I was able to buy a house. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why when you go and get your student loans. Now, let me tell you why I also didn't know. I didn't know that I could just work a part-time job and pay for college. I didn't think that, college is, let's say, $25,000 a year. If I literally get a part-time job making $25,000 a year and put all that money into my college, right? And let's say I do take out a $5,000 student loan to pay for, like, other stuff. Like, that's not, like, hard to have a part-time job and pay for the college. I didn't think, like, I could just work 20 hours a week and pay for college. Duh. Like, it's not a full-time job. You know, I did know that I needed to go to state school because it was way less than going out of a state school. I knew that, but I didn't know that literally I could work right now and pay back those loans, or just paid, I could get a loan, basically. Let's say you didn't have the money right away up front. You need the $25,000 up front. I could get that loan, go work at Best Buy, because that's where I used to work, and I could take my money and pay that loan back right now. I could just pay it with a little tiny part-time job. I wasn't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking that made any sense. Like, the money I made from the job could just pay for school until I got into graduate school. And my friend told me, oh, I'm paying for this. That's why I'm working. Like, I'm paying for it out of pocket. And I was thinking, why would you work? Why would you work and pay for school when you could just get a loan? And he was like, because it's really expensive. He was like, what are you talking about? He was like, so I'm just paying for it as I go right now. Like, I'm paying, I'm living with some roommates, and I'm just taking all my money that I'm making, that I use for my job, and I'm just paying it off. And at the time I was thinking, that's kind of smart, because graduate school is very expensive. So the other thing I didn't know about student loans, let me tell you all that. That's why a lot of students work full-time and go to school in the evening. Exactly. And even worse, when I'm working full-time and a reimbursement for it. Right. So you can get the reimbursement from your jobs. A lot of jobs do school reimbursement. I got to decline them because I'm almost there. Number 3, and I'm going to go after this, y'all. I'm going to go because all these people trying to call me all at the same time. So the number 3 thing that I didn't realize about student loans is that, sorry guys, can you hear me? The number 3 thing I didn't understand about student loans, that really I only really made sense of it the last 2 years, when I was really paying attention to saving for my kids' college, and that is room and board cost half of the student prices for your tuition is room and board, and that's insane. Like, you're literally, if you room and board out of school and you don't have a scholarship and you're getting a loan for it, you are literally paying out of your pocket. You are literally getting a loan for food and rent, and that is ridiculous. That is crazy. You're getting a loan for that, for food and rent, for when you're 18 years old, to pay back when you're 40. That doesn't make any sense. So the thing I learned about that is a money-making business only. The only reason that they're giving you room and board at college and giving you all this food is, number 1, to make so those apartment companies can make money. Number 2, so they can give you a loan to sell you this food that's not even good for your health and this apartment. And that's it. It's just to make money. So you should just live at home with your mother, just like you was doing in high school, and you should eat food that you can cook, that you can buy from the grocery store and cook. That's basically it. Now, that's all I got to say about that. And unfortunately, I would love to look. I might come back over here a little bit longer, but I got to go because someone is literally sitting here waiting for me to do this interview. But y'all, if you guys want to tackle your student loan debt, I'm telling you, I have a tool in my budget. It's a simple tool. It's just a debt calculator. And what it does is it keeps track of all your debts in one place. You can list all of your student loans. You can put your monthly payments, and then you can, instead of the monthly payment, you can either choose to pay more. You can track your own payment to pay more, or you can choose to pay less, whatever fits in your budget. But the good thing about it is you'll have all your debts in one place. You won't have to go to Navient and then here and then, oh shoot, what loan? I forgot about that one. You'll be able to track them literally right there, and you'll be able to say how much you paid each month right there inside of the calculator without having to go back and forth through the accounts. You're going to keep track of the debts that you're paying on your own. Okay, so go to my website, AleneMazelee.com, and look at the budget, look at the pictures. If y'all have questions, inbox me. All your questions that you want to ask me, inbox me. I'm answering every single question. All right, you guys, stay safe. Bye.